So I've been following the U.S. yen carry trade situation since before I got into politics, actually. It's one of the reasons I got into politics because I found it interesting. I found it interesting until, you start to learn about what it is and why it exists, how it exists, and it all just gets so dark. And then you learn about people. You learn about what's happened. You learn about history as we're living it. And it just gets darker and darker. And then you look at how people react to it. You look at the response to it, and it just gets darker and darker. And even though I still have a very optimistic outlook about the future, it's people that have to change. It's not currency. The currency is going to change. The economy is going to change. Everything's going to change. But it's not that I'm worried about. It's not, the finite nature of resources. It's not time. It's not uncertainty. It's people that I worry about. And their state of mind. And what are they going to do? What are they going to do to maintain this? What are they going to do when they finally accept that it doesn't work? Are they going to completely lose their minds and blow up the planet? I don't know, but everyone's thinking about this is wrong. A US yen carry trade. Everyone's thinking about economics is wrong. And Great Scott here, it's a great name for Twitter, but these comments on this post by Crypto Rover are perfect because they encapsulate what the fuck's going on, what's wrong with people. Great Scott says, beautiful, the old standard in the international banker's playbook, run up the debt by printing unlimited currency. I get the communication. I get the criticism. But the philosophy is all wrong. The language is all wrong. The government doesn't print money. When we talk about printing money, what we're actually talking about is stealing. Because when you open up, the cheat sheet for the world we live in, number one on there is the government has no money. They don't make anything. They don't hold anything. All they do is steal. I mean, that's really what it is. If you want to get, if you want to put a positive, optimistic spin on it, they manage. They manage, right. But, really they steal. They steal other people's productivity. And then they manage it poorly and in the most absurd ways, imaginable, but they steal. When you talk about the creation of currency, which is what he's talking about here, Great Scott, you're talking about stealing. And you're not talking about stealing from just anyone. Because as you all probably well know by now, there's nothing left for them to steal from you. Who they're talking about is the unborn children. And in this case, the Japanese. So they're talking about stealing from babies that don't even exist yet. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to posit this with you. Let it ruminate that maybe an economic system, a philosophy, if you will, that requires stealing from a baby that also doesn't exist yet may not be the best of economic strategy. So you see how people's thinking is Well, broken is putting it lightly. But then you have another side of this, which is from this Faded person, fadedclipur.com. And they say, I'm just waiting for the US markets to react to this. I'm pretty sure that's what they mean. They're just waiting for the markets to react, because you need to see how the markets react to this, right? Do you? Do you need to see how the markets react to this? Do you need to see how the market is going to respond to, what it's like to steal from a Japanese infant? No, you don't. You know how that's going to end. We all do. You don't need to wonder, what the value of your home in the future is going to be. Because what do homes do? Homes are places for people to live in, to fuck in, and have families in, have babies. If no one's having babies, if no one's living in them, right? No one's fucking in them, right? No one's having babies in them, right? What's the value of a home? It's nothing. If you have to import third world migrants that are used to living in clay huts to occupy your homes, that have virtually nothing beyond, what your government can steal in lieu of their having nothing, so that they can buy those homes. The value of your home's not going up. It's still nothing. So you don't need to wonder what the market's going to do. You don't need to wonder what the, NSA supercomputer on the market is going to do. You already know. You already know everything that matters. The value of your homes is nothing. And it's going to be nothing until people start reproducing. And that's what it is. So you don't need to wait for the market. You don't need to, build an AI supercomputer surveillance dragnet over the planet to figure this out. It's very simple. The value of your home is nothing. The value of your currency is nothing, because currency is exchanged by people over things of value. And if there's more and more things of value and fewer people, you can pretty much figure out what's going to happen to your currency. So there it is. You don't need to sit and wait around to figure out what the markets are going to do. What we're sitting around and waiting for is just how ruthless and violent people are going to be when they finally succumb to the reality in which we live in. And the answer from me is you won't have to wait very long, because I don't need to lie to anyone at all to maintain this facade. I'm not. The only thing I'm doing is telling the truth. I don't need to overpower any foreign nation or military. I don't need to bomb any continent into inexistence to maintain this facade. I'm not going to go to war. I'm not going to invent some alien invasion to distract people from this. I am not going to do any of those things. I have no plan on doing that. I'm just going to say, you know what? We should build a garden. But a lot of people in this world, unfortunately, don't think like I do. They're fucking stupid. And they're just gonna burn everything. And they're gonna tell their government, you get out there and you make my house more valuable. I don't care if it's fake. I don't care who you bomb. I don't care how many fucking infants you have to kill. I don't care what baby's pocket you have to pick. Just do it. There's a lot of people like that out there. I'm waiting around to see what they're gonna do. I'm waiting around to see how long they're gonna last. And hopefully it's nowhere near as long as I can.